What is good, everyone? These videos recently have been very spur of the moment. Not that any of my other earlier videos were very contemplated prior to, meaning it's not like I went into ever making a video and taking days to think about what I'd be offering to people. But more recently, it's completely spur of the moment. Not even a second's notice in my mind of what might I say, what kind of idea do I have? Because I don't really know, and it's part of it is this really interesting position in the world about teaching and showing what magic is and experiencing it. What is it that we desire? And this has been a common theme amongst many of my videos recently. And there's a few people that have been listening, and this has just cropped up into my mind. I didn't make this for that reason, but here it goes anyways. A few people have been listening to my videos, but then have the audacity to comment and criticize what they're listening to. Well, it's very simple. I don't give a shit what you have to say. Go listen to something else then. If you don't, why would you listen to music you don't like? Change the station. Don't come here and say something. If you don't like it, leave. That's simple. And I suppose the picture here of a spear ritual and what spiritual, what spirituality is, that's always part of whatever lesson or whatever thoughts that I have, is to give people a more spiritual, rich life of what it is that they want and desire. What is it they're looking for? What are you trying to find? What's in the center of that bull's eye? What is that in the center of the monad? What is it that people desire? And if you don't like what you're hearing, it's very simple. Hit the stop button. Turn it off. Do something else. And this might have to do with personal and interpersonal relationships that I've had recently. That it's so strange. It's almost too personal to explain. But how is it that people are? The word gravity isn't right because gravity doesn't exist. How are people magnetized or attracted to things that out of their mouth they swear they don't like? It's kind of like smoking a cigarette. Like, who could ever really like that? It's filthy. I mean, tobacco in and of itself, let's just, I've made videos on this before, is a wonderful shamanic herb. But then when we get into all the chemicals and we start to get into all of these, we could get into other foods and things that people ingest. That, how could you possibly like that? You don't. There's no one that, I couldn't imagine someone saying, I really like the taste and the aroma of a Camel cigarette. It doesn't make any sense, because they don't. No one can honestly say that. So when we get into desires, what honesty is, it's very interesting to me that oftentimes people they don't know what they desire, so they just accept what it is that's around them. They just accept it. Oh no, I don't mind the outcome of that. I sort of, kind of, I'm familiar with the outcome of whatever it might be. The outcome of You know, every situation that we have would be called a redundancy, and sometimes those are fine. Everybody likes rituals that they perform and know the outcome, but then there are other rituals and things that people continually do that they don't like the outcome of. And there are times that, like I just said, that you do like the outcome. So, what is it about a spiritual life? What is it about growth and well-being and how to access and acquire the things that we do desire? Because honestly, truthfully, the most essential thing that I always talk about in every one of my videos is always to get to the point of what is magic and how to access the things that we do desire. Because what else is life? Life is the crossroads of space and time, coming to the place, coming to the space, to the feeling of that is what I want. That is what is essential to my being right now. But most people, most often of the time, it happens so frequently that people find themselves, for the majority of their life, in positions that they do not want to be in. To the point where I've looked at and I've talked to and I've observed myself, of course, not too frequently, because I have enough self-respect to be most times generous and truthful with myself about where I'd like to be. But I've noticed people you see people, it's those two people sitting in a restaurant that have been together for years, and they just stare at each other and they hate each other, but they're just doing it because there's nothing there's nothing else. They hate each other. Everything, the smell of the other person, what they look like, how they dress, the things that they talk about, it's just an absolutely you see this everywhere. You can see this on a day-to-day. Go sit in front of McDonald's and watch the people drive through McDonald's, and tell me if one of them looks like the people in the commercial that is happy, that is having a happy meal. Not a damn one of them. Now, if we look at that and then say, man, the person actually went through the whole the process of thinking they're getting a fast, happy meal to drive through here, and they're going to eat it in their car, and they're somehow speeding up and helping out their day. Not one of them is enjoying it or happy about it. Now, put that in same philosophy into the rest of their life. What are they happy about? What are the things that drive us, that we pursue, that we try to accomplish? What are these things? What are these events? What are these spaces in our minds? How does that occur? That would anybody ever sit down and eat a Big Mac smoking a cigarette? That happens all the time. Yet, could you? What? How do we get to that place? How do we as a society that it becomes a normalcy? We've normalized it, that we eat a bacon double cheeseburger, drink a Diet Coke full of MSG and all of these other and how does that become normalized and looked at in a way that we either accept or applaud? But yeah, when somebody does something healthy, we go, what are you doing? Somebody fasts, somebody starts becoming a vegetarian, and the society at large just shuns it. So what is this spiritual life? What is it about finding your path to what is that makes you feel good and be happy? How do we get there? Because if the entire path is, and I suppose this is the larger question because of I've noticed in dietary habits and the kind of places that and society and things that I've participated in is I was a very, very strict vegetarian for 7 years. And and most of that was, I don't know, was it uncomfortable? A lot of situations that if I would have just eaten the meat, if I would have just participated in the societal norms, would it have been a better experience? Maybe so. And I've noticed that lately. I've changed my dietary habits slightly to allow for, sitting down at someone's table, and if they cook something that has a beef broth in it, I will eat it. And that's something I wouldn't have done before. And has it become easier, better? Has my experience improved? It's in some ways, absolutely. So then I wonder about these kind of ritualistic experiences that, they say, when in Rome, when in Rome. So, again, these talks lately have been more questions than they have been answers. In the past, I've probably made a lot of videos giving a lot of answers for people. But I found myself in a state of, I just really don't know. And the not knowing is a interesting place. Magic happens in both, whether knowing or not knowing, it happens either way. But in the not knowing of what's the right thing, what's the right thing here, what's the wrong thing here, do I eat the meat, do I not eat the meat? If I eat it and I'm in a setting where that's what's happening, have I made a better experience? Go to a giant festival. Go to it's called Hogs for the Cause. Here's a little interesting story. Hogs for the Cause. Now, I know that the cause of the thing that they're trying to fix, I know that, as much as I can know, I know that literally killing and eating that pig is causing the cancer that they're trying to fix. I know that. They don't know it. They're sitting there consuming the thing. Money, give us money. The money will fix it, because then we'll find the scientist with the thing that we'll kill some more pigs and get some more blood and stick it into kids, and it'll fix them. It'll fix their cancer. And I'm sitting there going, this entire event, millions and millions and millions of dollars funneling into this thing, is actually causing the cancer that they're trying to fix. How crazy. But then I say to myself, but the event here, everybody is, they seem to be happy. They have a smile on their face. Are some of them really dying of cancer? Or dying to find the solution? Yeah, certainly. Are they trying to, they see their kid over there in a wheelchair with the, losing, like, brain, I don't know, like, what? But yet, they're sitting there just chowing down on this dead animal that is literally causing them the pain. But then I go, aren't they happier that we're having this big event here? Happy in the muck? Because what is the solution? Everybody goes vegetarian, everybody... Yeah, it seems that way. It seems like that's a great solution, but man, is for the years and years that I really was a steadfasted vegetarian, I would fast, I would ritualize and participate in things that were seemingly healthy, of health. Yet the mindset, the whole thing was like, I was just looking like, man, am I the only person that's somewhat healthy here and everybody is unhealthy? And in that was an unhealth of my mind. Very, very peculiar. So, what is it about spirituality and rituals and getting to a place of becoming healthy and accepting the things that we do desire and enjoy? I don't know. I think that's just something that everyone should maybe contemplate a little more. and find what it is that our passions are, what our desires are. And as I've been on that search, that path, I find myself completely not knowing what it is. You know, when you obtain the thing that you do desire, like, then you don't want it anymore. Usually, there's only a few things that I can tell you that again and again that I will say, no, that is more part of my desire. And it usually has to do with, how can I help that person be happy? Can I be happy? And what are those things that it takes to become that? I don't know. They're ever changing. Some of them are the same. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it gave you a little bit of something to chew on mentally. And we'll chat soon.